All right, well, speaking of loving things...
Technically, I think that's film, but let's not argue.
Speaking of loving things, I would love to introduce our next guest. And we can do it together if you like, meaning I'll do it and you watch me.
Oh, wow. I love how inclusive you are. You fucking asshole. You piece of shit.
Here we go. You know him as the original cowboy poet. He has a book coming out. Please welcome Dalton Wilcox to the show.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much.
How are you, Dalton?
I'm good. I'm turning up my headphones a little bit. I can hear myself a little bit better.
Here, let me get.
I think you got to operate
it's one
that.
Of these over
nope,
here.
I've switched over here because this one over here wasn't working in my right ear.
All right.
Okay.
Well, this is a real freewheeling show, isn't it? You
absolutely.
guys just have a lot of fun and joke around and all that stuff. I like it. I like the spirit of it.
Your outfit, I just want to say, you are like a real cowboy.
I am a real cowboy.
You got that whole jingle jangle.
Well, my spurs, they jingle jangle when I walk around.
During the break, just so people at home who are live tweeting and listening, we had to have Dalton take his spurs off before we started again because they were making too much noise.
Because I'm here in Hollywood, and I guess you consider them a weapon down there, and so you got to take off your spurs.
We got a little room tone with spurs and without spurs, just in case. So if you're hearing the spurs right now, it's because we're looping that ringtone with spurs.
I don't even know how all that works. I'm just a cowboy poet.
That's true.
Riding out there on the range.
And,
I've often been called the poet laureate of the West.
How often?
How often? Oh, my gosh.
How often?
Yeah.
It's hard to calculate how often. I've been called between just loose conversations and...
So you haven't been keeping a running tally?
You know what I have...
Have you called yourself that? Is that what's going on?
Well, I'll be perfectly frank with you. I've referred to myself as the poet laureate of the West on many occasions.
Were you like the king of pop, Michael Jackson, who tried to get that going by his lonesome?
Well, gosh, I don't remember who it was who first called me that and called me that in print, and it might have been me.
What kind of publications in print?
Well, I print out a newsletter and I bring
so it's your own publication.
I beg your pardon?
Okay, here we
So
go.
you've been called the poet laureate of the West.
I believe,
by yourself in your own publication.
I believe it was me who first called me that. And it has been calling me that for
Is this
quite
an
some time.
online publication?
I wish. Nope. I print it out and I hand it out at hoedowns and rodeos and
do you have
campouts.
Any kind of centerfold in there for Jason? Like anything in the
any beeves? Does your newsletter have any beeves in
I
it?
heard you talking about beavers before.
Yep.
I don't care for that kind of conversation.
I apologize for
Nothing
this.
like that in my newsletter.
This is the program you're on, buddy.
We tend to let it all hang out here. So
That's
beef-wise.
evidently. No, it's my newsletter is just I'm a celebrated chronicler and collector of the wit and wisdom of the Wild West out there on the range and the plains. And
so this is
spurs.
kind of a bygone era, or is this the Wild West that's currently happening?
The West is very much alive and well now. And still, as long as there are cows that need rustling up, there will be cowboys.
How long do you think that'll be?
I figure that'll be forever. I reckon that'll be until the Earth crashes into the sun.
Well, that's not going to happen.
You don't think the Earth is going to crash into the sun?
Sir, I do not.
That's what they say is going to be the end of humankind.
I don't know. I think that something's going to crash into the Earth before we crash into the
That's
sun.
precisely what I'm saying. A gigantic meteor will crash into the Earth. And then
that'll kill us all. That'll be the end, not the crashing into the sun part.
No, there will be
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
You think so?
Because we will know that it's coming, and we will move underground, and we'll protect ourselves from that. And there'll be cows down there underground, and we'll need cowboys to rustle them up. And there'll be cowboys
I don't see this happening. I think at that point, once we're living underground, we are cannibals.
Yeah.
I think the cows are gone.
No, you're
everything's gone. We are cannibals. This is like a Mad Max
It's
scenario.
not going to matter because within a year, the Earth will have been knocked off its axis by this meteor.
Wait, within a year, you say?
Well, I said, it's going to happen right away, but it'll take a year for us to fully
not within a year from right now.
crash into the sun. No, I don't have an accurate prediction as to when it's going to happen. But
I bought property up on top of Mount Kilimanjaro because when it happens, all of a sudden the oceans rise. It'll be beachfront property. Okay, I'm done.
Why'd you quit?
Wait, what happened? I thought you were going to go through the whole song.
Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Wait. Now you're going into a different song.
I might.
You started with Wipeout.
Is that Wipeout?
I believe it is.
Okay.
And then you went into a totally different song.
Oh, baby, I know
I do love that you expected us to rescue you from that.
I wish the people at home could have appreciated the dance move.
I wish the people at home could have seen the look on his face that was screaming, help me.
When he looked at
I've
us and
started something that I don't want to keep going.
That was...
Boy, that's a lot of fun. All right, we'll be right back.
Dalton,
ridiculous.
what is your relationship to gauchos?
I beg your pardon?
What's your relationship?
Question.
That's the
finally.
Scott, thank you so much.
We're getting to the heart of the matter.
Now
I don't know what you're
we're
talking
digging into
about.
the meat.
Because
I swear to
they're out
God,
there.
I don't know what you mean.
You don't know what gauchos are?
I sure don't.
They're out there.
Huh?
Yeah, Jason, please.
Gauchos
You brought it up.
are, I believe, aren't gauchos Mexican cowboys?
Yes, exactly. Mexican cowboys. What's your
Something like
relationship
that,
to
right?
them?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not what I call them.
Oh, no. What's going on here?
I don't call them gauchos.
Oh, boy.
Goddamn Mexican cowboy.
Oh, boy.
This is taking a dark
That's
turn.
not what I call them.
Okay.
I got
well,
a number
we
of
don't need
names
to-
for them.
Yeah, I'm sure we do. But let's
goddamn polite.
Jason asked a lighthearted question that where
Well, you got your answer,
Oh,
Lightheart.
boy. Oh, boy. It's also the name of a Steely Dan record, guys.
What's that?
Gaucho.
Pretty great record.
Yeah, pretty great. Pretty good. Let's talk about which album is the best by Steely Dan. Let's rank them. Let's count them down from
Countdown
1
to Ecstasy?
Yeah, count them down from 1.
I think it's Cozy Fan Tutti Frutti.
That's a Squeeze album. Come on.
Oh, shit. I would get them.
You can't slip that past by me. What?
I thought I could.
What did I just say?
You can't squeeze that past by me?
Oh boy. So Dalton, tell us
Yeah.
why you're here.
I've got a book coming out, and I'm promoting my book. It's called You Must Buy Your Wife at Least as Much Jewelry as You Buy Your Horse, and other poems and observations, humorous and otherwise, from a life on the range.
That's fun.
That's the title of my book.
The title's a little unwieldy.
I beg your pardon?
The title's a little unwieldy.
Well, I looked at how much room there was on the cover of your average book, and I says people aren't using that space efficiently. You can
most
get a lot
people
more
use
words.
10%.
That's precisely right.
You know what I mean? They put a picture on there or something.
I want to communicate to folks a whole lot of different interesting things about what they're going to find in this book.
Most people put a picture on their cover of their book. I say put 1,000 words.
Well,
It all evens out.
Oh, I
Because
see.
a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Terrific.
Wow.
Just terrific.
You know, Jason, I need a little more support from you.
You need support from me?
You know what I mean?
You're the one that decided to a cappella sing Wipeout after
The last two
as
things
a
that I've done.
congratulations
The
to
last-
yourself for a bit gone bad.
Last two things I've done. Let's count them down from 1. Wipeout and number 0.
0.
Picture worth 1,000 words. Yeah. You have just
I'll go, you know
shit
what?
all
I'll
over
go.
me for.
-1 was the Oscar 12 Nights of Oscar countdown.
No, you backed me up.
I was
He
a little
did.
bit
He
on board
dove
for
right
that.
in there.
You did that. That was nice.
You never did get to all 12 nights of Oscar, though. I hope we do revisit it later in the broadcast.
We just may.
Dalton, I am certain we will.
Okay, good. I'm glad, because I think, as far as I know, it only got up to -6. I believe, or 7. A long way to go, and a few of them were absolute.
Dalton, shut up! I want to hear your
Bullshit.
poetry.
Do you have
I do
any
have some
goddamn poems to tell us?
Sure, I do. I got a poem here called "The Lonesome Cowboy."
I feel like I've
The
heard
Lonesome
that
Cowboy.
before.
Is this an exclusive?
Yeah, it's an exclusive. Yep, that's right. It comes out in the new book. Nobody'd ever heard of it before.
No one's ever heard this before. All right, exclusive here. Comedy Bang Bang. This is a world premiere exclusive. Anything you want to say, Jason?
You gonna
No,
comment?
I just am. I'm bated breath. I'm
Bated breath, but we start listening now because this is where it begins.
Live tweet.
Here it
Live tweet this poem.
Yeah, yep. Feel free to do that, but don't give away the ending. A cowboy is a lonesome man. There's none more lonesome in the land. He rides atop his only friend. His horse a companion on whom he can depend. His woman may be miles behind him. Sadness and desperation may find him. But a cowboy who's wise will turn to the earth to lend him solace and even mirth. The earth from which all beauty springs, such bounty forth she always brings. He'll dig a hole with cracked, scorched hands, pour in all the water that hole demands, until that hole is moist, just right. The earth'll never put up any kind of a fight. His cries of joy no one will hear. In case I am not being clear, I'm saying that cowboy is gonna fuck a hole in the ground. We all do it. That's what I've found. Any cowboy that knows that lonesome hell can fashion a land Virginia well. If a cowboy seed worked like other seeds, there'd be cowboys growing everywhere across the plains like weeds. That's the poem, The Lonesome Cowboy.
Huh? There's a point early on where you rhyme him with him.
That's what you're glomming onto?
I think you're wrong about that, my friend.
Might I just say that the end of the poem was where my attention was piqued?
What happened?
The part where the cowboy is making love to a hole that he digs in the ground.
I rhymed behind him with may find him.
That's him and him.
That's a secondary rhyme, yeah.
That's secondary rhyme, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's allowable.
You know what? That took me out. That took me out of the poem.
You didn't hear anything after that?
Nope. What happened afterwards?
Let me just summarize. This lonesome cowboy is hoping that cowboy clones will grow out of the earth.
Wait, what?
From where upon the spot upon which he is masturbating.
Dalton, is this
it's fascinating. Poems are open to interpretation, but that one is all wrong, your interpretation of it.
Because what Scott was just describing sounds like some sort of sci-fi cowboy poem. Is that
no,
what
I don't
this
go
was?
for that. No, absolutely not.
Like
no.
pod people of the plains.
In some ways, an artist hates to explain his work, but I will say that I don't hope that cowboys will grow out of the ground, and it has nothing to do with masturbation, my friend. Absolutely nothing to do with masturbation.
Well, as I look at it now, it appears as though the cowboy is having sex with the ground.
That's
Isn't
precisely
that a form
right.
of masturbation, though, if there's not another human involved?
How dare you?
Wow.
The cowboy's lover is Lady Earth.
But wait a minute. How? I'm not. Listen, you're a cowboy. I don't want to put this on you.
Don't put anything on me unless it's a 10-gallon hat.
This.
I'm with you, buddy.
See, that's the sorts of witticisms and observations about life on the range that you'll find in my book.
You know what I'm not seeing in this poem?
Which is called You Must Buy Your Wife at least as much jewelry as you buy your horse, and other poems and observations, humorous and otherwise, from a life on the range.
Yeah.
By who?
By me, Dalton Wilcox, cowboy poet laureate of the West.
Self-declared. What I'm having trouble with is that I don't hear from Mother Earth's perspective consent. So this seems to me to be a cowboy raping the earth.
Raping the earth. A cowboy would never rape the earth.
But in your poem, you say that the earth doesn't put up much of a fight.
She never would. That's precisely right. Why doesn't she put up a fight? Because she loves the cowboy.
No, because he's just taking her.
No, it's
you're
not
saying take the weak earth, rape it, like put the earth up on a pinball machine and just go to town on it.
You think the earth couldn't put up a fight if the earth wanted? If the earth didn't want to be fucked like that by that cowboy, the earth could do any number of
what?
Well, there could be an earthquake right there on the spot.
Is that what earthquakes are? Are too many people in California trying to fuck the ground?
If someone who is perhaps not a cowboy tries to fuck the earth and the earth doesn't want it, you will get an earthquake, absolutely.
Wait, so you have to be a cowboy to fuck the earth and the earth to be okay with it?
I don't know if you have to be, but it certainly helps.
Dalton
you goddamn can't be a goddamn Mexican cowboy, I'll tell you that right now. The earth doesn't want any part of that crap.
A gaucho as well.
Dalton, do all cowboys fuck the earth?
They absolutely all do.
And you're a cowboy.
Sure I am.
So you fuck the earth.
Sure I have.
It's a lonely job.
It's a lonely job out there in the plains. I tell you what, I have fashioned a land Virginia in the ground.
A what now?
A land Virginia.
What now?
A land Virginia.
I think he means a fresh hole. Is that what you...
That's right. That's what we call them.
Yeah.
And I've got a favorite one that I return to again and again all the time. Because it's the best one.
How do you know nothing in the interim has taken up shelter in that hole?
Or has done exactly what you're doing to them.
Oh, yeah. How do you know some other guy hasn't come along and been like, oh, look at that land, Virginia.
Piece of strange.
Just kablam.
I don't mind that. I don't mind
You don't mind that?
No,
do you ever, let me ask you this, like before
But I would mind if a rattler had crawled in there.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I would worry about.
I got to be more careful about that. That's a real good point.
Before you fuck the land of Virginia, quote unquote, do you ever like kiss and or lick it?
Certainly.
You got to lick it before you kick it.
You bet you do, and you got to wine and dine the earth.
Really?
Sure. Sometimes I'll bring a steak out there, and I'll light a candle or something like that, and I'll kiss up on the earth. Sometimes pour some wine into its oil.
I'm not gonna lie, Dalton. This sounds lonely and sad.